Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and today we're going to be going over the all-new 2019 Lexus NX 300. So as always, we're going to do a quick walk around on the NX, then we're going to take it out to see how it drives, and Larry H. Miller Lexus of Murray is hooking us up. They have given me this whole room in here with a couple cars to review in it, but normally I have to film on the outside. It's so nice that I get to film in an air-conditioned building. That being said, if you are in the market for a new Lexus, definitely check out Larry H. Miller Lexus here in Murray, Utah. Under the hood here of the Lexus NX 300, we have a 2-liter turbocharged inline 4. That's going to be routed through a 6-speed automatic transmission. In terms of power outputs, it's going to be good for 235 horsepower and then 258 pound-feet of torque. And then if you are wondering about fuel economy numbers, it's going to be good for 22 around town and then 28 on the highway, which for an all-wheel drive SUV is actually pretty phenomenal. Up front here on the NX, we can see that we've got these nice projector bulbs, and then we have Lexus's signature LED lights, and the turn signal is actually integrated right there, which is pretty interesting. But these actually mimic, you can see the Lexus logo, which I think is really neat. And then we have Lexus's signature front end grille, and note that they actually integrate the adaptive cruise control sensors into the little Lexus logo right there, which is a really neat feature. But this grille and like this kind of like layout, actually I really like it. On the larger SUVs, it kind of is a little bit interesting, but on stuff like the NX, and then you can see like the RX over there, I think it is the perfect size. Around the side here, we have these 225mm tires with 17-inch rims in the front, and then you can see they're identical there in the rear. I think they have a really nice look to them. And then you can see you've got like a little fender here on the outside of the car, and then it also has that same fender there in the back. We have the key fob here for the NX 300. You can see it's got pretty standard functions on it, lock and unlock, and then you have the Lexus logo there on the back. But now we can pop and go over the features here on the back of the NX. So now back in the rear of the NX 300, we can see we've got dual outlet exhausts back here. There are exhaust tips in each of those. Don't worry, I checked for you guys. And then we can actually open up the tailgate here. So it is a hydraulic lift tailgate. And then we can see the cargo space here in the back of the NX. So this is going to be pretty similar size to the RAV4 roughly. We can see you can actually get a little first aid kit back here. Has a full-on cargo cover in the rear as well. And then if we actually pick up this carpeting right here, we can lift this up. And then you can see that you've got a little bit of extra storage into there. That's where the whole fix-a-flat kit setup is going to be, in the back of the NX. Now, I've waited to go to the back to go over the paint color. It is actually called Caviar, and the reason is the lighting in the back kind of shows it a little bit better. It's a metallic black. Lexus is so good with paint jobs. They just absolutely, they're always fantastic. So very nice flake to it. Looks very premium on the car. And then you can see we've got these cool LED lights. Lexus again with the lighting, and you can see it kind of mimics the logo again with the LED lights in the rear. Coming to the rear, we can open it up and we can see the door panel here in the rear. So we get this red leather here with contrasted stitching, and then there's more like kind of like black padding. There's some cool trim right here that kind of mimics carbon fiber. I'm not sure if that's genuine carbon fiber though, but we can see more leather and stitching up here at the top. And then we can look at the seats, and this is my favorite part. I think that the contrast between the Caviar exterior with these red leather seats looks absolutely fantastic. So we can see the seats here in the rear. Very comfortable leather. So the leather is very well padded, and it has a really nice smell and touch to it in general, which I know it's kind of weird to say about a vehicle, but just trust me guys on this one. And then we can open this up. We've got the cup holders right here, and we can pick this up. That's kind of like your little center armrest. You do get little vents here in the back. And then in terms of legroom, pretty standard for this size of SUV. And then you can see we've got a couple speakers here integrated onto the door panel as well. Coming up to the front, we've got keyless entry. So one touch to lock it, and the mirrors will actually power fold in. And then put your hand on the back of the door handle. That'll unlock it, and the mirrors will power fold out. Definitely a nice luxury feature that I would like to have on my vehicles actually. And then we can see this door panel here for the front, so more of that beautiful red leather with all of the contrasted stitching, and then the carbon fiber looking trim right there. And then we can see all of our window controls right here, all of your mirror controls. You can power fold the mirrors in yourself if you want. And then a couple more speakers for that sound system right here. And now let's go over the seats here in the front. So now we can see right here for the front seats, so more of that beautiful red leather with the red stitching in it. And then we can see we have all of our power adjustments here on the seats with little lumbar adjustments as well. And then you get little floor mats that say Lexus on it. You can see the pedal layout just right there, and then there is the hood release here in the bottom. And now we've got a couple controls right here. So we have the light controls right up there, and then we've got controls for the heated steering wheel, and then you have lockers as well, because Lexuses do have some off-road heritage with kind of like their Toyota roots. Now that we're on the interior here of the NX, we can just put our foot on the brake and push the push start right up there, and then it'll start right up. The gauges will do a little bit of a sweep. On the NX here, we've got a couple different controls right here on the steering wheel. So you can see this little control is for the center stack right there, and we've got the pages and back button for that center stack as well. And then you have your lane departure assistance, and then you have your sensor for the front, kind of like with the collision warning and all that. And then you do have the cruise control right there, is just below on the steering wheel, and actually moves with the steering wheel. And then we can see we've got some voice control right here, and then we got our phone controls, and then we have our mode selector and everything. These are all the controls for the radio. And then you do have little paddle shifters on the back of the steering wheel if you do want to shift gears yourself. And then you have your regular stocks with the turn signal and windshield wipers and all of that. Sorry for all the glare in that kind of area, but these are our gauges. So you can see on the left hand side you've got the RPMs, on the right hand side you have the speed, and then you've got that little center configurable screen which you can scroll through a bunch of different little menus on that. That'll give you different bits of information on the vehicle, like telling me that my fuel is low because I need to fill up, which pretty standard for these reviews nowadays. So we have this little center screen right here, which is actually controlled by that little keypad right there. It is not a touch screen. So obviously we're gonna wait to activate the services. That'll be the first person that owns this, but this is where you do your calling, texting, Bluetooth, radio, navigation. Everything is being controlled via this screen, and you kind of do it via this little pad right here. So just give you guys kind of an idea of how that pad functions. If we pop it into reverse, you can see a little backup camera will pop up right there. And then if I scroll on this little pad right here, you can see that I can go between the different modes on the backup camera, and you can press these little hard buttons too on the side, and that'll give me the two different camera views that come with the NX, and those actually will turn with the steering wheel. But yeah, that's kind of how that whole pad functions, is you just use this as kind of like a mini mouse pad is the best way to put it, and it is really sensitive to touch, so it's actually pretty easy to use. Now in this area we have a little clock right here, and then it does have dual zone climate. You do have heated seats in the NX as well, so all of your climate stuff is this little separate area. And then just down below here you can see that we've got a CD player, and then we've got some analog controls for the radio, and then we've got some fun little buttons in this whole section right here. So here's our shifter first and foremost. There is that manual mode where you can shift the gears yourself via there, or if you do want to use those paddle shifters, whatever you prefer. And then you can see over here we've got a couple different drive modes. So you have your eco, your sport, and your normal. And I noticed that that just pops up on the little screen right here, whatever mode that you're in there. And then you have your hold, and then you've got your little parking brake right here, and then that whole little menu again, like I said, with the touchscreen, that's all this little keypad right here. Two cup holders right here, and then we've got little center console set up with some contrasted stitching, very soft to touch leather. And I was kind of playing with this, and I was like, what is this? I opened up the center console, and guys, you get a mirror, and you can see me in the camera. But yes, while you are driving around in your Lexus NX, you can also look at your beauty, which I think that's a funny feature that this car has. Definitely interesting, never seen that before. And then you can see a couple charging stations in this whole center console area, and it's all lined with felt. And while we are in storage, let's open up the glove box right here. So you just press that button, glove box will open, and again, fully lined with felt, tons of storage in here, and it's very, very soft to the touch. And then beautiful dash, very soft touch leather with contrasted stitching, and then more of the carbon fiber trim up here with more soft touch and stitching there at the very top. See up here, these are going to be all of your regular light controls. You can get a sunroof as an option if you would like. It's not standard equipment or anything like that. And then you can see the little microphone up here for the Bluetooth. Now, wrapping things up on the interior of the NX, absolutely love it, especially these red seats, and I'm very impressed with the materials used on this car. So the NX comes in, this particular one with the options that it has, about $40,000. That's before any sort of market adjustment or anything like that, which I feel like is great value for all the equipment you get with this car, the styling, and then obviously the luxury brand. That all being said though, let's take the NX out to see how it drives. As you can see, we are setting off here in the Lexus NX 300. Traffic's really heavy right now, so let's talk about visibility while we're waiting for the traffic to calm down a little bit. You can see over the hood, it's really easy to see, and then you can see through both of these side mirrors, gives you good visibility. And then over the whole shoulder area, there's that little window that kind of adds to the visibility. It's not massive though, so it helps out a little bit, but not a ton. And then you can see over the other shoulder. So overall visibility throughout the cabin of the NX is actually really decent. So now we are actually setting off on the NX here, and let's talk about road noise and ride quality. So in terms of road noise, there is pretty much nothing that's coming through to the cabin, and ride quality is exceptionally smooth. This is definitely on the upper echelon in terms of smoothness with newer SUVs in general. So they have nailed it with the luxury car feel here on the NX. Now we can turn here, and you can see that the steering on the NX is very light. You can see that there's just a little bit of play with the steering, but not a whole lot. In general, the steering is actually really direct. It goes right where you want it to go, but it's very effortless, so it's a very comfortable driving experience. Now we've got all the little manholes over here, so you can see kind of when I go over these just how it doesn't upset the vehicle at all. And I wasn't expecting that because this is a smaller sized SUV, so usually the smaller sized SUVs will ride a little bit rougher, but Lexus, good job on the NX here. You have done an amazing job, like overall, with just making the ride quality so smooth. So let's get a little acceleration here with the NX to see how that turbocharged 4-cylinder performs. And if you look at the shifts on that transmission, I wasn't expecting the 6-speed automatic to shift so quickly, but it actually shifts very, very quickly. And this is more than enough power for this vehicle, actually. I was thinking that I was going to want more power, but I really don't. Like, this turbocharged 4-cylinder is more than adequate. So let's wrap things up with the NX, and I am actually very, very impressed with the NX. So I came into this review a little bit skeptical. I wasn't expecting this to drive as sporty as it drives. This SUV actually handles very well, and that turbocharged engine is more than adequate on the power side of things. Gonna get you great fuel economy on top of that. The transmission shifts very quickly, and so I would just have to say that I'm so impressed. And like I said, the price point this is coming in at, you know, like I said, it's about $40,000 before any type of market adjustment. That is so much value for the safety tech, the luxury brand, everything that you're getting with this package. It is such a good value. So if you are in the market for a smaller luxury SUV, definitely check out the Lexus brand in general and check out this new NX because it is worth a look. There we have it, everyone, the all-new 2019 Lexus NX 300. Thank you so much again, everyone, for watching. I really appreciate it. If you are stopping in for the first time, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe, comment down below what you thought. And again, a big shout out and thank you to Larry H. Miller Lexus here in Murray, Utah for providing us with the car to review today. You can see they've got this cool little delivery bay. Really cool dealership. I've never had anyone give me inside review area, so awesome team to work with. But I will see all of you in that next video.